Okay, well, breaking news out of Madagascar. The army has taken control of the country and lawmakers in the National Assembly have voted to impeach the president. The military says it will dissolve all institutions except the lower house of parliament. It comes after Andry Rajoelina fled to what he calls a secure location following weeks of unrest. Demonstrations led by young people have lasted for weeks over corruption and a lack of basic services. Well, Fahmida joins us now from the capital, Antananarivo. And can you just, first of all, Fahmida, bring us up to speed with what is happening? Because this is happening and changing very, very quickly, isn't it?
It certainly is, and I want to explain where we are. We're just outside the presidential palace, and that is where a colonel, a short while ago, a senior member of Capsat, that's elite military unit, the Colonel Rajoelina, he had said that they have taken power and that they are in control. Now, our understanding at this point is that, of course, is unconstitutional and would be termed a coup. At the same time, we've also just come from the Parliament, the National Assembly, where they have voted to impeach President Andry Rajoelina. There was one abstention in that vote, but certainly an overwhelming majority saying that he should be impeached for a number of reasons, including abuse of office, the use of state funds. There were a litany of reasons behind this impeachment, but certainly coming at a time when we've seen protests in Madagascar, specifically the capital, sometimes turning violent. But I have to point out, while that vote has taken place in Parliament, it now gets referred to the High Constitutional Court, and the members of that court then decide what to do. And we have been told by the opposition that it is very likely the High Constitutional Court will pass this motion, will endorse it. What is supposed to happen, though, at this point is that the President of the Senate would become the new president. But that is not certain at this point. And when we asked the opposition leader who was leading these proceedings in Parliament who would become the next president, he wouldn't answer that question, saying we would have to wait. So it's clear that there are a lot of uncertainties at the moment.
Yeah, it sounds like that is a very large understatement at this point, Fahmida. This all started with Gen Z protesters rising up and taking to the street. So have we got any sense of how they feel about the army now taking control of the country?
Many of the protesters we've spoken to in the last few days have just wanted the president out. That is their key focus. But many of them have also not looked beyond that. Many of them responding positively to the developments so far, which essentially comes from a place of anything is better than the president because of how in these 16 years he has not delivered. This is what they have said. We also look back to the initial installation of Rajoelina as president in Madagascar 16 years ago. It's the same Capsat, this military unit that in a coup brought him to power. And now it appears the very same unit is now pushing him out. We are not certain of where the president is. He did address Malagasy, people from Madagascar, in a Facebook Live on Monday night, saying he's in an undisclosed location for his own safety, for his protection, not confirming that he has left Madagascar. However, our sources have said that he has left the country. People here, though, at this point, are not necessarily concerned with what we would call his disappearance at this point. Very much happy that he is no longer running Madagascar, even though following this vote in Parliament, there is no president of Madagascar at the moment.
OK, thank you so much for all of that, Fahmida. We will be keeping a very close eye on the fast-moving developments there. Fahmida for us in Antananarivo.
Don't miss out. Get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news, expert insight. Like, share, stay ahead.